One of my dad's clients asked my dad, well, why is your kid going to China again? And he called me up. He was like, I don't think you should go to China. You should go to Taiwan. I was like, okay. That was when I decided, okay, look, now I want to be a lawyer in Asia, use my Chinese.
你可以先自我介绍一下吗？
好啊，我是 DJ Flex Chapman，是个美国人，来台湾20年 ，I make hip hop music。等一下要发我第一个专辑。我第一次来台湾是1979年，大概1-2岁。我那时候我爸爸在学中文，他是个 lawyer，his clients were Taiwanese。所以我长大的时候 ，I was around Taiwanese people and 偶尔会去一些 banquets，吃他们的 Taiwanese food。And then, so this is now 1994. I participated in a trip to Beijing. There was a prestigious East Coast boarding school trying to set up a program to go to China. So they went around the country and found kids who were studying Chinese at the time.
What was your impressions of China in 1994?
You know, when you're in Beijing, you can kind of feel the communism a little bit, just in the architecture and the very planned and boxy. But there are also elements that are free and wild too. And there was no drinking age. We drank Baijiu, we drank Pijiu. I know one day we went outside and what was a nice courtyard in front of the dormitory we were staying was now just these two giant mounds of coal to keep us warm in the winter. And that blew my mind. To be honest, it was a kind of a life-changing experience. That was when I decided, okay, look, now I want to be an international player. That's my goal in life. And so that's when I really focused on studying Chinese. And then in college, I spent a year here in Taiwan.
Oh, you actually came here
I
before.
came to Taiwan in 1998. I studied at Taida for a year. It's funny because I just spent all this time talking about how great and fun my trip to Beijing was. I was expecting, round 2 of that. But it was not that. No. The ICLP program is intense.
I've heard it's rough.
I'll never forget, we're in the orientation. They brought in some students from the previous year, and this one woman walked in. I mean, she looked like she just got out of jail. Her description of it was just horrifying. I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? But in the end, I stuck with it. My Chinese was better then than it is now, even after being here for 20 years.
Why did you come here to study instead of going back to China?
Well, actually, I was going to go to China, but then one of my dad's clients asked my dad, well, why is your kid going to China again? And he called me up. He said, I don't think you should go to China. You should go to Taiwan. I was like, okay, there it is.
That simple.
So then I went back to States to graduate college. Then I went to law school. Then I spent some time trying to find a job. I had gone to a seminar on how to find jobs as a law student. And one of the things I took away from the seminar was tell everyone you meet about what you're trying to do. So I tell people I wanted to be a lawyer in Asia, use my Chinese. In the meantime, I got a job working for the U.S. government. I was going through the security clearance. While going through that process, my boss called me and he said, hey, you got another opening. Do you want to come? And it was on a Friday. And he said, you got to tell me by Monday. Started thinking, no, I got a good thing. I don't want to give that up. Who knows what it's going to be like over there. But by the end of the weekend, I was like, I'm going to Taiwan. This is going to be great. Yeah, it's one of the best decisions of my life. Yeah, I never really thought about leaving. When you come here, as a foreigner, most people come by themselves. That means eating dinner by yourself. You'd see people and their families eating, a full table of food. And when you're eating by yourself, you can order one thing and that's it. So you're looking at all the food and then the family and it's like, oh man, it looks so good, Hope I could do that someday again. But now we can.
How did you get your family to move out here? A lot of people joke with me about that. They're like, oh, you miss home? Just get your parents to move here.
Yeah, well, everyone came for their own reasons.
Oh.
So my uncle came first, 3 or 4 years after I did. And now he teaches business at a local university and runs a coffee company. My brother came because he graduated in 2008, right after the financial crisis, and was able to get a job here teaching English. And then my parents, they both retired. Both their sons and their granddaughter were here in Taiwan, and they already had some connection to Taiwan, so they said, that's it, we're coming.
How often do you guys get together?
At least once a week.
Wow, so cool.
Family dinners. And they actually live like my mom counted it. She said it's 800 steps. So if I need anything, I just go over there and get it. My daughter left the blow dryer at school the other day after swimming class and had to walk over and borrow mom's blow dryer. And my dad can speak Chinese. And
does your mom speak Chinese too?
Not really. Because Taiwan is an easy place to live. So she gets around.
Now it's like really home.
It's home. Yeah, it's home.
So somehow you got involved in the hip hop scene here.
Yeah, I've always been hip hop and a music dude, been making beats in high school and found the local record store. It was right by my house, run by my friend, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown.
Any relation to the coffee company?
Not related to that guy. He was part of one of the first hip hop groups in Taiwan that had a record deal. They were called Da Shi Men. I was their DJ for a little bit. Then eventually started getting gigs, DJing myself at a club called Primo. Primo is the best club experience ever. Literally like 70% of the human beings inside were gorgeous women. No exaggeration at all.
That's nice.
When I was DJing, I became friends with a guy named LEO37. Played dominoes and just hang out.
You guys would play dominoes.
Yeah. And I used to give him beats. He'd be like, it's cool, but it's not for me, you know? And so saying, hey, if I get my beats right, can you help me find some rappers? So he's really the one that helped, put it all together. For the intro, we got my man Brown Chen.
Is that Mr. Brown?
That's Mr. Brown. The second song is with my guy J-Roll. Third song is my man Ilmo and Black Mike. Next one, my girl Rap Shark. And we got a song with my man Young Lee. The final song on there is actually a go-go song. DCIV convinced me to do the actual vocals on that one.
Do people at your job know about DJ Flex Chapman?
Yeah, I'm open. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't...
Got nothing to hide. Do they ever come to your shows?
No. Everyone's got their life outside of work. Yeah, everyone's doing something.
Some people play golf.
Some play golf.
Make beats.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there something that kind of characterizes Taiwanese hip hop?
Oftentimes, I think people think that rapping is an easy thing to do.
Anyone can talk.
Anyone can talk with rapping. Rapping is easy, but rapping well is extremely difficult. There's a lot of Taiwanese artists that can rap well now. So I'd say it's maybe not a fully mature market. Maybe not as much exposure like maybe the Koreans or the Japanese or the American artists. But yeah, you got a lot of guys putting out a lot of dope music.
You mentioning that you have been involved in this since 1994. Was it hard to be in the hip hop scene as a white kid back then?
Growing up, my close friends were all black dudes. So I went to school that was real mixed. And so I found that to be a real blessing because, you meet people, over here that just don't have that type of experience. It's nice feeling comfortable kind of with whoever you're with.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.